Every day, there are about 100,000 flights that take off and land. But are you aware of the human factors that go into keeping aircraft safely in the air? Error is part of human nature. Around 80% of aviation related accidents have been caused by human error. There are 12 human factors involved in maintaining aircraft, all of which are critical to keep them safely in the air and getting you to your destination safely. These 12 human factors, otherwise known as the Dirty Dozen, include stress, lack of awareness, lack of communication, lack of teamwork, fatigue, complacency, distraction, lack of resources, pressure, norms, lack of assertiveness, and lack of knowledge. There is no doubt that these factors play a major role in aviation safety, and to help me give you a better understanding of how these factors affect the aviation industry, along with the people that help run it, I have interviewed some aviation maintenance professionals to document their thoughts on human factors and their roles in keeping planes safely in the air. Hey Pat, thanks for doing this. So let's get right into it. What do you think is the worst human factor?
I would say it's complacency because it's very easy to cut corners, and the number one priority in aviation is safety. Just because you repeat the same tasks every day does not mean you can skip certain procedures, and that's when accidents happen.
Can you think of a time where you experienced some sort of accident due to human factors?
No, but I can think of a close one. One of my subordinates refused to check the handbook for the correct nut size for landing gear. He was assigned to this project for numerous days, and he did it over and over again. So he refused to check it because he thought he had it. It turns out he put the wrong one on, but thankfully the systems in the aircraft figured it out and corrected the error before any accidents could happen.
What do you think would be the best approach to spreading awareness?
I think making human factors a core course for all aviation majors would be the best approach, considering human factors are more prevalent with dire consequences in aviation.
Have you ever been a victim to any of these factors?
Well, everyone's a victim in one way or another. It's inevitable. But fortunately, the factors that I've been a victim of have never led to any horrible consequences.
Have you ever taken a course to learn more about the human factors?
Yeah, in mechanics school, it was the first subject ever taught to us. I kind of shrugged it off at first because it talked about us more as humans, didn't think it had to do with aviation. But however, I see that that is not the case. I am seeing these factors applied every day in the field.
Which human factor do you think is the most prevalent in aviation?
I would say fatigue for sure. Aviation is one of the few fields that never sleeps. At any given point during the day or night, there are planes in the air, which means many mechanics have to work through the night. And at night is when people get tired and show symptoms of fatigue, leading to them not being as focused on their work. And that's when slip-ups happen in inspections or fixings.
Which human factor do you think is the least prevalent in aviation?
That's a hard one, but I would have to say the lack of knowledge, because in aviation you have to be very knowledgeable in your field. I would never hire someone without experience because that's when accidents happen. And even though I say it's least prevalent, it does not mean it's not there.
Do you think human factor errors will ever go away?
Well, as bad as it sounds, I hope not, because then everyone would be out of a job if computers took over. However, I do believe there needs to be more checklists and inspections so that when human error is committed on an aircraft, they can be found before it's too late.
Do you think there's a reason as to why employers don't require employees to be more aware and proficient of human factors?
See, this boggles me, because perhaps it's a money thing, but I'm really not sure. I would like to have every one of my employees go through a course, and maybe it costs money now, but it'll save millions of dollars and countless of lives down the road preventing a crash.
Human factors are everywhere. So is human error. They are present every single day in the workplace. All we can do is hope that they are caught before it is too late. Human error can lead to mass destruction. It can lead to destruction of a plane, critical injury to humans, and in some cases, even death. Here is another point of view. Hello, Andy. Thank you for doing this. So let's get right into it. Which do you think is the worst of the 12 human factors?
I would say lack of knowledge, because in aviation, safety is the number one priority, and having the proper knowledge can be crucial because there are a lot of lives on the line.
Can you think of a time where you experienced or witnessed an accident due to human factors?
Yeah, one time I witnessed a pilot being complacent because he was pressed for time. So he was cutting corners during his pre-flight inspection and had missed a low tire pressure on the main landing gear, and the plane had suffered a blown out tire on landing.
What do you think would be the best approach to spreading awareness?
I would say to hold weekly safety meetings and give proper training to all the aviation workers.
Have you ever been a victim of these factors?
Yeah, I would say I've been a victim of fatigue. There's definitely times where I have not gotten the adequate amount of sleep and then been very fatigued at work, which can become a safety hazard as well.
Have you ever taken a course to learn more about these human factors?
Yes, in A&P school, we had a course that was pretty high priority and really hardly taught.
Which human factor do you see the most prevalent in aviation?
I would say stress because people carry stress from their everyday lives into their workplace and it can become a safety hazard.
Which human factor do you think is the least prevalent in aviation?
I would say lack of resources is probably the least prevalent because all the resources you would typically need is either provided or completely necessary to do the job.
Do you think human factors will ever go away?
I don't think they'll ever go away. At least a few of the human factors will always be present in the workplace. They can also make for pretty good learning experiences.
Do you think there's a reason as to why employers don't require employees to learn and be proficiently aware of these human factors?
Probably the time and money that it takes to hold these classes, but I would definitely say that they would be worth it to be fully knowledgeable on this topic.
With how many flights take off and land each and every day, it is truly a miracle that there are no incidents or accidents happening daily. I believe this is because aviation maintenance mechanics are proficient in knowing and locating human factors when present and fixing the issue immediately. This is something I believe more people should be aware of for use in their everyday life.